Welcome back, so witness. Good afternoon, witness number one and number two. As a matter of routine, may I remind you once again that you are on the oath before I hand you over to Madam Chair for us to proceed. Thank you, Madam Chair. I hand over the two witnesses to you for us to proceed.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bachelet.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Honorable Mayor. Good afternoon. Council, you may proceed.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. And yes, so back to the allocation that was made to EMK stores. Now, we have already discussed the issue that there was no verification done by either by the council as a general body, by the CEO, being the technician and the chief executive officer for council, and the mayors. Now, was this captured in in minutes of council meeting in the matter in relation to the allocation of the property to Charbel, Madam Lowe?
Yes.
Do we have the minutes of meeting? Can we have the minutes of the meeting?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now, please do provide the minutes of the meeting.
And then I believe that the chief secretary is in minutes. Then,
How much was it allocated for?
Nena, nyata la ko allocated.
If I can remember, it's either 2 million or 2.5 million, but it has to do with 2 million. That
If I could remember,
I remember exactly.
I can't remember exactly, but if I could remember, I think it's allocated an amount of 2 million or 2.5.
It was given per square meter.
It was given per square meter.
Now, who decided the $2 million?
Nena halat ko si kala bae mo ne paka po nyari million.
No, it was not anything decided. It was the tariff when you see your job. The
This is
square meter was 25,000 or 20,000.
this was not
Square meter.
square meter. It was per square meter. A square meter was 25,000.
Or 20,000. Who might remember exactly?
I can't remember exactly 25 or 20,000 per square.
This
It's a tariff.
Mr. Bachin, as CEO, gave you the tariff.
Nena Mr. C Bacchyly now mo ngam ne mo CEO na mo na yung tariff.
What?
Yes.
Gave us the tariff that Mr. Bachin gave you. Is it in the document?
Nena na tariff boobu mun nga yung ojo na yung si document si.
Comment? What the tariff? Come on, go let down to head the land.
No, it was not in the document. It was a verbal that this is the tariff that we use to issue bonds.
Mr. Bachelet, you gave the mayoress the tariff?
No, I think she must have forgotten. I never gave any tariff.
Okay. Now, Mr. Bachelet, who decided the $2 million?
Okay, maybe what she's trying to explain is that most of the
Not what she's trying to explain. You say what you want to explain. The mayoress is here. She can speak for herself.
it's just wordings. What I'm trying to say here is maybe it was based on the fact that most of the allocations of that similar dimension were based on 2 million, but then the negotiations with the interested party, I think it was between the two of them, and then it was
And who?
between the mayor and the party, and then it was communicated to us.
Mayor and Sharda.
Yes, but normally lands of that dimension were allocated at the rate of 2 million.
Who told the mayoress? How did she know it is allocated at 2 million?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to explain here. Similar allocation, sorry, similar lease agreements with similar dimensions
Yes.
were previously based at 2 million.
2 million.
So that's why I'm saying maybe that was the basis on which she used to arrive with the interested party at the figure.
Madam Law, you've heard that?
Lease council.
Lease council.
Tariff be salvage ko charge through square meter.
The tariff salvage charge it through square meter.
Man negotiate with matter Charbel.
I did not negotiate with Charbel.
What was Charbel price?
I don't tell him any price.
Price back up from the council.
The price that was agreed from council.
And it was from guide and some one you leave mom like they pay.
And that was through his guidance. Sort of that this is the amount we paid. Used to be paid.
Lolu like charge something.
That is the amount we charge to Charbel. We don't rise and say, oh, just we go say to him, we pay 2 million. I can't fully remember.
Actually, one of you there is a tariff either 20,000 or 25,000. I cannot still remember why you have a minute in you.
He informed us that there was a tariff. So I can't remember exactly the amount, whether 20 or 25 per square.
Drive that.
This is how we get to the amount.
Okay, so wait for the minutes. Now, was the 2 million communicated to Charbel during the council meeting or in your office between you and Charbel?
Nena jegi 2 million mo. Fan ngeen ko communicate ak Charbel da si council wala sa office.
Remember, naka lañ communiqué ak Charbel ka 2 million.
I don't remember how did we communicate to Charbel about this amount.
We as in who? You and who?
Nena sone we yakan. Whether myself or the CEO.
But I know the 2 million charge.
I know the price tag was 2 million.
Okay, this is the evidence. The CEO said the price was determined between the mayors and Charbel.
Nena why CEO on na ko fi legi ne njegi bi fi ngeen ko discuss moy sa digante Charbel ak yow.
The Charbel testified and said the 2 million was communicated to me by the mayors in her office.
Nena Charbel tamit bu moy joxe evidence am fi wax na ko ne njegi bi mom si bopam ak yow ngeen waxtaan si office sa office.
Why no man I remember why Hamna Munumari remember to communicate Siki why after council meeting the mom Lila Dako. So when a man Mako Charbel or Momoko Sabel, definitely Lulmun correct.
As I said earlier on, I cannot remember exactly where Charbel was told about this amount. Whether in my office or CEO's office. But this is the agreement we have at council.
No, this is before going to council. Remember, going to council is the last stage. Charbel met you, then met CEO, then you guys went to council. Charbel said, when I met the mayors, that's before you went to council, he was already told that he has to pay $2 million.
Nena li nekk na loo xam ne balaa ngeen dem so nena li Charbel si boppam war na ko fii ne bi mu ñëwee sa office balaa ngeen dem council booba fekka waxtaan ngeen affaire yi njëgi laan bi ba ngeen d'accord si 2 million booba ngeen demoon si council.
No. Charbel dina mistake na kon.
No. If Charbel had said so, then I think he was mistaken.
He can so Charbel first day when he was my office.
The first day he came to my office.
Envelope.
You see the way he hold his envelope? And he opened the envelope. I saw and I realized this is all about land. He is right now hearing me. That was the time I told him, no, I have no idea about land issue. Go to CEO. When he went to CEO, that was the time the CEO advised us to go ahead.
Did the council inform Charbel that the price of the land should be 2 million?
Nenda council ñoo wax Charbel ne njëgi paaka bi 2 million la.
Council meeting how madam man ko wax why so Charbel ba man man ko wax suma office then he's right.
Then that is the point I can't remember exactly. But had it, if at all Charbel says so that it was in my office, then he must be right.
Yes, but the point is, he said it was communicated to him in your office. That was when he agreed to pay $2 million.
Nena mom lu waxon fi de nena njega bi way price bi ci office bi sa office fofu ngeen waxtanon be dal di d'accord nena ci kaw bobu ngeen dal ko yegal ne legi amul lu moy def lu dul fay $2 million.
Marshall, please. One line for you so the minutes are there.
No, I don't agree with surveilling my office. It was taken to
Council. We were guided, and then you charge for another 2 million through per square meter. I can still remember that.
it was taken to council, and that is where it was discussed, and he was charged per square meter for 25 or 20,000.
Why did you proceed to transfer the property to Sherbel when the post was already defeated?
Nena luta ngenda li transfer 3BC.
Why did you continue with the transaction when the proposal was already defeated?
Nena luta ngenda li transfer mbiri bi ci Sharbel di continuer ci process bi fega process bi ci bopam da ngeen ko defeat ba pare.
Sharbel transfer.
Then could defeat the parent.
It was defeated.
Yes.
Sharbel transfer land we lose land from the Ghana National Assembly.
When it happens that he lose that land behind the National Assembly, there he was informed or he was told that he will be given a land at Bond Road.
Understand now the city can tell me.
I understand that in between.
I don't know whether CEO in council meeting.
I don't know whether CEO informed us in council meeting. But that story I cannot remember. I forgot about it.
Why there is a point
but I know that there was a point that
Sharbel gonna transfer lease fee.
Sharbel wanted to transfer the lease
to Nandu.
To Nandu. But for that, if I have to speak the truth, I know very little about it.
Because I'm not the first list more.
But I know that the first list
very clear.
It was very clear.
And if I remember,
and if I could remember well, I think I even initiated my signature on it.
Why between Sharbel Nandu council
between council Nandu and Sharbel, definitely I get lost there totally.
Because
that cannot be possible.
Nandu.
It cannot be possible.
Then I don't know possible day.
Because Nandu just testified today.
Then Nandu tell you nothing.
And testified that he met you in your office about 3 or 4 times.
Then I want to name of Jonas of fish fekala for
but we will get to that. That is at the later stage. But he mentioned that he met you in your office about 3 to 4 times. Is that not correct?
One coffee fekana office, Jonas office to them
and
that is the truth.
And the issue is to raise concerns about the land that he purchased or he acquired, because the one at National Assembly could not be accessed, and therefore he was frustrated. He wants to be transferred.
Nena li luta munyo fo watar wala luta munyo sa office disla nena sababi moy parce que la nga xamne jox nañ ko ci Ghana Assembly nena lolu nekk na lo xamne pusta possible.
Correct.
Munta possible. So ñu dal ci ko jox benen la nena
is that correct?
Is that jota ko nena li mo tam ngey ñew ci yow sa office.
Is being a lawyer.
Nandu once came to my office together with his lawyer.
Which lawyer?
Then as one lawyer, a young man.
Yes.
And he came there with his child. And came again with the child and another person. I swear, Nandu never tell me that he have a deal or something has transpired between my
not that yet. Not that.
Not
that issue. We haven't speaking that issue yet.
Okay.
Then I got money
yes.
Now, for you, look at that, sir.
And that he wants to be transferred.
National Assembly because National Assembly,
he came there and made a complaint to me about the land that was behind the National Assembly, of which I told him that that cannot be possible because the National Assembly are complaining that they want to erect a car park there.
Land in Bund.
But there I told him that now they are saying that they will allocate you a land at Bond Road.
But you said you don't know anything about Bond Road.
Nena why you nga on fine hamlo si dara si mbiri bondot?
No, man lease.
I'm talking about the lease.
Lease ko jagara land.
The lease that it was prepared for Nando, that is the one I told you that I have no idea.
While ne Nando nangu na land na pineka ganao National Assembly.
But for the land that was issued to Nando was forfeited from him at behind the National Assembly.
And we need to compensate him.
He need to be compensated for cyber. For that we discussed it more than 3 times.
This is only a document that will contain agreements that have already been discussed by the party. So you maybe have seen the list, but at least you are aware that he was transferred from. There were discussions that he should be transferred from the National Assembly area to Bond Road.
Then Lease be more than a law hamne kite. Lease the magazine ne leveling hamne the gen ko hata beta ko leveling hamne da ko ngen low like better Lease. Then at least Mr. Soko ke sabot sa wa ya sa ko yeng ne mom Nando joxnan ko benen paka bi nga xamne ngi botro bi nga xamne bu nekkon National Assembly pour mom nangu joxon.
Do you understand?
Nena fofu leer.
I
agree to that. I told you that.
Nando don't inquire about that land.
Nando used to come and acquire about said land.
It's 3 times.
As I told you, he came to my office 3 times. And the people I mentioned.
Now, was Nando allocated the land?
Nena Nando na mo yun ko allocate land.
In reality, in the factual sense, what did he obtain at that time? Was Nando allocated a plot of land around the National Assembly?
Nando they compensate land.
Sorry,
yes.
I made a mistake. Was Charbel allocated a plot of land at the National Assembly? Allocation was land allocated. When he applied, was he given allocation?
National Assembly.
Yeah. No, the one for National Assembly, the first application.
First application,
because he was never transferred. So the first application at the National Assembly, was he given the allocation?
Then a legi musun ko transfer. Legi lu like mo first application bi mo def. Kër bi nga xamne mo nek national gannaaw National Assembly. Na mujjé nañ ko jox.
Because
I forgot about that. It was a long time. But I know Charbel was given a piece of land.
Charbel was never given a piece of land.
Now, this took a long time, so I can't remember. Then Charbel musun ko jox.
No, council. I can fully remember that.
Yes, there was an agreement from council. I can fully remember.
But Charbel was never allocated a piece of a plot of land.
You know why Charbel musun
council deliberations you will bring in. You will bring the council's deliberations, the minutes.
Then council minutes.
What appears to be clear is that council perhaps agreed
to give
the land.
And this was
council
but we will also look at the minutes and see the orders.
An
agreement to allocate and allocation are quite different. An agreement to buy and actually buying something is quite different. I don't know whether you understand.
Yes. To allocate and sale is a different thing.
Okay, let me rephrase. Give a better example. If you agree with someone for a person to sell you or for you to purchase a plot of land from someone.
Let's
say you have a sale agreement. You agreed with the person to buy the property. That is an agreement. But for the person to now transfer the ownership of the property to you.
Nena waaye léegi pour moom daal di transfert turi ku moom kër gi jox la ko mu mel ni léegi yow yaa ko moom.
That is now allocation.
Nena loolu la ñu wax allocation.
Unless it is transferred to you,
Nena jamono bi nga xam ne jox nañ la
you
transfert.
are not yet the owner.
Nena bu fekkee ne joxaguñ la ko ba léegi moom aguloo ko.
Do you understand?
Nena leer na.
Legal.
Yes, legal.
Have the minutes. They are very clear.
If you want to assist me, or if you are to assist me, then you wait for the minutes. That will make.
We will. I only have a letter I want to show you.
Nena waaw nañ ko def nena letter benn letter rek la am bi nga xam ne def la ko waaw.
Sign information to CEO. CEO léegi dafa des si moom ak lawyer bi naka la ñu implémenter.
Yes.
Contract.
We went to council, we discussed, we get to agreement, and it was passed to CEO now.
That's what I said. I said
the CEO
the council agreed to it, but then there was no allocation, there was no transfer effected.
Nena li comme lu mu nekk di wax rek. Nanguto am na waaye pour jox ko mu mel ni léegi moom na ko.
That is a letter. Also, in exhibit.
Nena letter la nga seet ko.
Today, 30th of April 2019, the council has agreed to enable you to have access to plot of land above site measuring 100 by 100. Okay. Measuring 100 by 100. Okay, well.
Do you see that?
Okay, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
100 by 100.
100 by 100.
Okay. Now, can you kindly read the letter?
Nena mbaa mun nga ñëw jàngal letter bi.
The CEO found a consulted address, Estate West Coast Region, reaching the 30th April 2019. Hello. Okay. Reference is 15/BCC/49. Rating to 30th April 2019. The CEO founder, Consulting Limited, Bruford Gardens, Estate, West Coast Region, Desa. Application for land at Bond Road. Following its meeting today, the 30th of April 2019, the General Council has agreed to enable you to have access to plot of land at the above site, measuring 100 meters by 100. We look forward to the preparation of the agreement. Yours faithfully, Lord Mayor, Chief Executive Officer, CC Lord Mayor, Acting Director of Finance, Director of Planning, BCC,
Yes.
Fire.
May I please have it? So that letter is what Charbel used as an allocation in itself.
Nena letter boobu la Charbel joxal bu mel ni boobu mooy allocation bi.
Do you understand? Charbel is saying this letter alone
Nena Charbel moom lu wax mooy letter bi rek.
that BCC wrote to him,
bi nga xam ne BCC dañ ko binda.
which says that following its meeting today, the 30th of April 2019, the General Council has agreed to enable you to have access to the plot of land at the above site. Charbel is saying this is an allocation.
Nena Charbel lu may wax mooy nena lii allocation la.
Now, Madam Lowe, is this an allocation?
Nena léegi mu ngi laa laajte ndax lii allocation la.
Allocation be normally the fora CCU. I think it is always prepared by our lawyer.
Yes.
Allocation normally should arise from the CEO, and I think it will be prepared by our lawyer.
So this was not an allocation.
Then accordingly, do allocation.
It's not an allocation.
No, man, you have.
Yes.
Because this allocation before.
The one I know, because I
it's prepared by our lawyer.
It was always prepared by our lawyer.
So, and I think there was an. You have a little bit of a yaga, but 100%. There was an allocation for him. The government for key.
In fact, you'll be so.
I think it was a long time, however, but I think and I believe that allocation
decision taken. Why
was given to him. And there was
once a decision taken. Key different. And then again, I'm seeing this 100 by 100.
And I see the dimension 100 by 100.
4 full square meter.
That is where
either 20,000
we
or
have
25,000
square meter, either 20,000 or 25,000.
Main problem is not even the square meter.
In associated with the problem big square.
Council said, okay, we have agreed.
Nena council wax nañ ne nangu nañ.
It is in the letter.
Nena mu ngi si letter.
The CEO conveyed to Sharbel that council have agreed.
Nena wone na ko wala joxe na ko Sharbel dal di ko ne council.
Allow him have access to the plot of land.
Nga gis ne ñu nangu mu am.
And that they are looking forward to have an agreement with him.
So there
was no agreement in reality. Mr. Sharma was just given permission to go and have access to the land so that they can now draft an agreement, prepare a document. That if the parties agreed, then allocation can follow. The parties do not agree that there cannot be any allocation. Correct?
May I hear you?
Yes. That this letter is saying that council is agreeing to allow Sharbel to have access to the land. And so it reads further. We look forward to the preparation of the agreement. Which means there is no agreement before this letter. Correct?
Yes.
Good. And which also means that unless there is an agreement, unless there's an agreement, then there cannot be any allocation. Yes.
The council, as council.
Do you understand the process? So that's why this letter itself is not an allocation. Some other steps must follow. And then your lawyer will eventually prepare. Do you understand?
Case, yeah.
Right.
And from them,
council, but straight away, the administration.
Normally, it happens when it comes from council, it goes straight to the administration.
Yes, I understand. But if you give an instruction either as a mayoress or as council,
then as your instructions from a mayor or a council,
and then the CEO is to act in furtherance of. Let me rephrase, Mr. Oja, so that you will not get misinterpreted. The CEO is to act according to the instruction.
Then at the CEO
Then when he is done, it has to come back to the person that instructs him to act. So if council agreed that Sharbel should be allocated a property, did the council or you as the mayoress find out whether the allocation was done in Sharbel's name?
No, with all honesty,
that is what I have to do with all honesty.
I cannot remember. I forgot, but I remember. I can tell you.
Would it be expected that you or the council and the council should also find out whether allocation was done as instructed, as the CEO was instructed?
Okay.
Yes.
Now we just go on.
Then I'll continue.
Mr. Bachelor.
Yes.
Did you allocate a plot of land to Mr. Sharbel as per the letter of the 30th of April 2019, which says that agreements will be prepared subsequently?
No.
So no allocation was made to Sharbel?
Specifically, no.
Okay. Now we've already exhausted that, Mr. Madam Lowe. Have you heard the answer of Mr. Bacchily?
Mr. Bacchily.
Madam Law. So now we know there is no allocation to Mr. Shelby.
And then we all know that there was no allocation to Mr. Shelby.
Now, Mr. Shelby, in the absence of an allocation to him,
Allocation be
he still used this letter of the 30th, which is not an allocation. He don't wait for an allocation. Went ahead and had an agreement with MK Stores as Nando. Why are we of that agreement?
Why yek na ne Charbel mu bugo na lease job sa ki naka MK store.
Yes, I was aware that Sarwell wanted to lease the property in the name of MK store.
So follow the process the told one.
But where the process was, that is
how
that I don't know.
How were you aware? How were you told? Who told you?
Financial principal partners
I think it was Sarvel who told me that some of his partners they are not ready.
So legi how much work ak Nando together.
And now he want to partner with Nando together.
To do what?
To make the
project happen.
When the project happens.
Charbel
Then a Sarvel
does not have that expertise. Those expertise.
Then Amudu Hamamu wala expertise.
What Heisen would be doing.
Then a Heisen you know what
Charbel cannot do.
Then a Sarvel you know
You know this. You knew it before.
Then a yaw hamgalul
what Nando can do is way different from what Heisen does. So that would make sense to you.
Council mom is a partner. According to mom,
what I'm trying to say here is that he is a partner as how we were informed.
So mom, how we were informed.
Mom Charbel.
He is Charbel.
Informed who?
Mom Charbel.
What Charbel told me.
Okay, I heard you saying Lumnyuwa, so I thought there were more than one. So
what told me is what I always go and tell council.
Okay, let's stick to you first, and then you can now tell us whether you lead that to council and whether we'll have asked you whether you have minutes to prove it and all that. But go ahead, what Charbel told you.
What he explained was himself and Heisen.
Can withdraw from send agreement.
He withdrew from the agreement.
Why the partner
but now he had a new partner.
At the beginning, Charbel to the
at the beginning he never named none.
And naka fan la Nando ñëwé on the scene.
And how Nando get involved in the scene.
Fofu la to remember why Nando.
Where I cannot remember, but he had never mentioned Nando.
Charbel had an agreement with Heisen.
Then Charbel amna nangote Heisen.
Correct?
Wow, okay.
Yes, okay. I don't see that agreement. What he informed us is what I'm telling you.
If you do not see the agreement,
then I saw this agreement.
Then it does not happen.
Then I can't agreement.
It does not exist.
Then I'm
because though you're the mayor of Bad. You perhaps have a lot of wisdom in these things. So much so that I always tell Mr. Batchily, it is 101. When we say 101, it's basic. Charbel, if he has an agreement with Hisense, he will say, Madam Lowe, Honorable Mayor, please look at the agreement I have with Hisense.
My Lord,
he will tell you this what we agreed with Hisense. He don't know that.
Loolu dëgg la State Council waaye excitement mooy ne am nañ company buy ñëw. Company bi muy ñëw employé suñ xale yi.
That is what I'm telling you. All he told me is that there's a company coming and that company will employ the youth.
No. I think it is clear that
did it?
is no company, there was no company.
Leer na ne amul benn company.
I would not want to believe
Nee na moom du mun a
that Mr. Batchily, as experienced as he is,
nee na Bathily expérience bi nga xam ne am na ko.
does not know that no one just walks into the CEO's office and tells the CEO that I am talking to Facebook, or I'm talking to LG, or I'm talking to Nokia, or you name the companies, and therefore I need land and it is given.
Nee na fogut ne xam-xam bi nga xam ne wala expérience bi nga xam ne Bathily am na ko nee na nit dina ñëw si office am rek fekk ko mu ne ko yaa man daal am na di Africell commune bi wala ay compagnie yi mu wax nii léegi dama bëgg a paaka nga jox ko rek mu daal di ko jox.
Madam Lowe, with your
Very well.
Translate exactly what council is saying.
Very well.
Please, don't add your own there.
Madam Lowe, thank you, Chair.
Madam, thank you, Chair.
With your experience,
Nee na xam-xam bi nga xam ne yow sa bopp am nga ko.
you will not allow anyone
Nee na yow doo nangu kenn
to just come and tell you that I have an agreement with let's say a huge company, let's say it's an LG also, and they want to do so and so I want a plot of land, and then they pay the money is given.
bu ñëw mu ne la dama am compagnie yu mel ni comme LG dafa bëgg a ñëw sama fi dara so bu compté xaalis rek jox la ko nga dal di nangu loolu.
loolu laa la wax ne lead counsel man óolu naa woon Charbel lu mu wax.
Lead counsel, I think that's what I'm telling you. I believe what he has said.
You have to believe Charbel.
Nee na warloo ko gom Charbel.
Do you know why you don't have to believe Charbel?
Nee na lu tax warloo ko gom.
Do you know why you don't have to believe Charbel?
Nee na lu tax war
It's under yours.
nee na parce que paaka yi nekkul sa boss.
looloo tax ma jox ko suma technicien bi ñu yóbbu ko council because xam naa ne aw ma décision bi man kenn.
This is why I have given it to my technician so that they take it to council because I know me alone I have no idea.
Property as well.
Nee na Mr. Bathily tamit moomoon property yooyu.
It is not the council's property as well.
So council tamit moomoon property boobu.
So that
Nee na léegi kon suñ kaw loolu.
if your technicians did not come back to verify information,
Nee na technicien yi suñ delloo si yow pour wax la information xibaar
mark it as X and put it aside.
nee na war nga ko mag ak ex nga teg ko boor.
We say it's a non-starter.
nee na nga gis ne mu nekk loolu moom non start la.
point ak si sooy moom am na loolu moom dëgg la.
That is true council.
jàngee nañ si tan xam nga su beneen yoon su nit ñëwee wut si laa.
We are learning for the next time when somebody came and want a lot.
waaye wax dëgg yàlla ñun man lu ma jàppoon rek ne kii ñëw na ut laa jox nañ ko technicien si advice yóbbu nañ ko council nangu na.
But all
technicians.
Came, gave me it, and I gave it to my technicians, and they have taken it to council, and there was an agreement. That is what I thought.
Now, that's not a problem.
In associate,
Now, Charbel was never allocated a property.
then a servant was on your property.
Now you have Nando come into your office.
Then a lady Nando Muidal in your office.
Charbel wrote a letter to BCC.
Then a servant written a letter BCC.
To instruct BCC that the land allocated to him should be allocated to Nando, MK stores.
Mom, si letter bi lu fa wax mooy kaddu paaka bi nga xam ne jox nañ ko léegi dafa bëgg a paaka bi ñu dal di ko jox ñu wax Nando.
Let me show you exhibit LGC/BCC/CE/001.
Okay. Letter bi.
This letter.
Foog naa bii mooy the first time mu gis ko.
I think this is my first time to see this letter.
And okay, mu ngi ko address to the chief executive officer.
And it was addressed the chief executive officer.
Letter bi maa ngi ko doon gis.
It's my first time to see the letter.
Mr. Batchily, you recognize the exhibit? Please pass it to Mr. Batchily, Madam Lowe. That is the letter that Mr. Charbel Al-Haj wrote to BCC to say that the land that you allocated to him should be transferred to Mr. Land. You recognize it?
Yes.
Is the mayoress aware of this letter?
Maybe she forgot, but she saw this letter.
She saw it.
Yeah, maybe she forgot, but she saw this letter, definitely.
Okay. Let me have the letter. Now, Madam Lowe,
Madam Lowe.
you have had the mayor. Mr. Bachelet, why am I promoting you to mayor? I'm not going to elect you any day, anytime. The way you have run BCC, Mr. Bachelet, there is no chance.
League Council?
Yes.
League Council.
I
had what Batchily have said.
So police.
He said, I have never seen this letter. I'll take his word.
Okay.
Why man letter be feel like you say why it's possible?
But for me, this letter is my first time to see it here.
But at least you spoke about knowing or having knowledge of Charbel and Nandu, the transfer of land between two of them.
Nina so ko kisit sa why am nga ham ne digante salbe at
Correct?
dingam ne wata na transfer. Yes. For that I was informed not more than even 2 guys. And I think he have informed council.
And Charbel told you too.
Nina salbe wax na la tamit.
Buguma nekk li ma gën a bañ a def fii mooy di nekk di gees di waxu lii ëllëg ma wax lii fekk minute si wax lii to be quite honest di dafa yàgga.
What I don't want to do here is just like saying this and saying that.
Yes. Madam, no, to be honest, you have to just say what you want to say and how you want to say it. Feel free to give your answers to the best of your recollection. We have documents we will be showing you, or Mr. Bachelet, they are all here. They have Charbel testified, and Mr. Rajwani, also known as Nandu, testified.
And
so where you forget, we may remind. Now, this letter written to BCC, saying that the land should be transferred. Did you give it to me? Saying that the land should be transferred to Nandu. MK stores. Is that correct?
About the letter you showed me.
Is it correct that the agreement that started with Charbel, the Charbel has the authority to instruct you to transfer that property to Nandu MK stores? Is that correct? Is that a correct procedure?
Then a procedure with a like the letter became one Charbel Bindana legal transfer land basically then Andalulu yon a procedure warla.
Instructor, my mom, he wrote to the CEO.
He did not instruct me. He wrote it to the CEO.
The CEO doesn't have authority.
And our CEO, I'm doing the
That's why all of you guys were in the picture throughout. In fact, my question is just whether Charbel can transfer the land to Nandu.
Then I'd like to be saying, don't be more. That's how people transfer land to Nandu.
Would you allow it?
Then I also want that.
The legal interpretation of that because
I don't have the legal interpretation of that because
like advice his lawyer and then he effect the council
an effect that what
council
info that's the implementation of that council say.
My point is you had agreement with Charbel. You decided to talk to Charbel. The agreement with Charbel and Hisense could not go through. We know there is no evidence of an agreement. At least the purpose of my statement is it did not go through.
Then why mom support statement then lolo do coming ware.
Now, should Charbel have the authority to say that you should transfer this property to AMK Stores Nandu?
Then legi mom Charbel si ko am na warugal bobu wala dole ko wane dafa transfer to akabi tura pesi turi nandu.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Then understand what we negatu.
Understand now.
Yes,
But don't have a legal interpretation.
For that it has a legal interpretation.
CEO bi mooy seet mu laajte waat suñu legal version bi ndax mun nañ ko def o munuñ ko def.
As I said, it was the CEO who is entitled to ask the legal or legal whether we have
The lawyer only acts as instructed. The lawyer only acts as instructed. Because the law is instructed.
Then I see lawyer lawyer mo lawyer that can be lawyer get ko instruct from def.
Of course, in accordance with law. That's
There's what if wow or another lawyer.
my issue is
And mo lawyer ani mo.
what the reason why you gave the land, you wanted to give the land to Nandu was already not there.
Then isu bingam ne dengan bukan wala dengan bukan pito kiri pagabit nandu dengan lulu nego fa.
Nandu already told you, sorry, Charbel already told you
Then sarbel wah nala.
that the agreement with the high sense
Then nangu to ame access.
materialized,
Then lulu mujeut.
right?
Correct.
Waa
Yes.
Now, which means
Then lulu mu min moy.
the reason why you wanted to give the plot to Charbel
Then sabab bi nga xamne wala dal bi nga xamne da ngeen bëggoon a jox.
no longer exists,
Da bobu amatu.
correct?
Dega. Yes.
Which means
Then lolu mu firi
the
moy.
land can no longer be located to
Then mo lolu mu firi moy lan bi legi amatu wala warta joxe war leen ko jox sarbe ab
correct?
waa
Yes.
Now,
so
how do you turn back and give the same property, the same dimension to Charbel, to MK Stores?
Then kon lolu naka la mo demee wala naka la demee be ngeen jël benn xayma bi nga xam ne dimension bi ngeen joxaat ko bu ñuy wax MK stores nandu.
mooy comme li ma la wax rek li council
As
partners
I told you, Council Sarwell had partners.
We don't have evidence of that.
Lolu amuñ evidence.
Do you have evidence of that?
non
am evidence.
loolu laa la wax ne li ma wax verbatim
That is just verbatim.
ne
What he
dafa
told
am
me verbatim.
partner ak ñeneen pour war a def A B or C
That he had a partner with others to make events.
so ñun tamit si loolu lañ ko joxee laan
That is our we base our thinking on that.
léegi ñëw na wane ne ne
Si loolu lañ ko bëggoon a joxe laa.
That is the way we wanted to give him.
Now, just try to tell the mayoress that the land was not given, so that was why we wanted to give him the land.
Then lii moo tax lu mu la yëgal mooy comme naan bi ba léegi joxamu leen ko waaye lii moo taxoon ngeen bugg a koo jox laat.
council
Yes, for us council,
ñun jël nañ ko laan
we thought that the land was given to him. But I did.
loolu laa la wax ne loolu mooy suñu understanding ne ñun decide nañ
That is what I'm telling you first.
council
That
si bi ne
that was our
wax nañ si yow bi dana ko effect
It was never effective. There was no agreement.
come again please
It was never effective because there was no agreement.
nee na loolu musta jóg def leen ne musta am parce que nangutoo am.
You understand?
Nee na understand nga loolu.
Do you understand?
Well,
The
Yes.
transfer was never effective.
Nee na transfer bi musta xew musta am. Yes.
Good. Now, let me now get to the interesting part. I'm not sure. You at some point had that the land end up costing $15 million by Charbel.
Nee na mbaa mujjee nga yegg wala mujjee nga dégg ne laaj bi dañ ko mujjee njëga bi dañ ko mujjee jaay mu dem ba 15 million.
Had
Sadly, dégg nga lu ma.
koy smell bu ma yónnee maa ngi Nigeria
I had that through CEO while he sent a voicemail to me, and that was
nga ne A B and C xew
I was in Nigeria. They told me that, do you know that the ABC is what is happening here?
ma ne ko maa ko bëgg a dégg ci yow
I told him that this is my first time to hear it from you.
Okay.
naa def moo ñëw fii si su ta tudda sax ne Charbel jox na ko pour ay ubbi tuut
When Nandu was coming to my office, I never mentioned that Sarvela.
because you did not ask. Did you ask?
moom moo ñëw indi complain moom complain am bi yëpp mooy wane dafa soxla land bi léegi because dañ war a sampa te any
We have a problem
land su
with
yël na
the interpreter, Mr. Bojang's microphone. Let me repeat. I said because if that is the case, because you never asked, perhaps.
Nena su fekkee ne mbir mi nii la woon, demoon naa ne la musuloo laajte.
waa because man Sapele don't deal the council. So fake Nandu don't even complain for office.
We were dealing with Sarwell, so all the complaints that Nandu brought to my office,
Oh, you're not gonna may land me back.
how can he be able to acquire land back?
Nandu cannot complain to have the land back when we never agreed with Nandu. There was no agreement between BCC and Nandu. The agreement was between BCC and Shilbert.
Then Nandu do want to know office complain affaire land bi te fekk yow amuloo benn nangooto ak moom.
Exactly.
Then nangooto bi nga xam ne am ngeen ko nekkut ne diggante yéen ak Nandu waaye diggante yéen ak Sarwell.
Exactly nga wax ni wax na Nandu ci kanami lawyer.
Exactly what you have said, that is what I informed or told Nandu in his presence of the council.
Wax naa ko Nandu ci kanami doomam bi.
I told him in his presence of the child, his
Wax
child,
naa ko Nandu ci kanami doomam ak keneen fu àndalaat.
and I told him in the presence of his child and the other person.
Maybe you should have just referred Nandu to the CEO.
Daf dee ñëw
Then I looked at
si
the
bu ñëwee si man noonu laa demee si CEO.
The way he comes to my office, that's the way he go to the
No, but tell Nandu for the first time you're coming here, if it's about the land, please do not come to my office about this land because he's a CEO who's responsible. Please communicate with the CEO.
Then I looked at one logo, jël mu njëkk bi nga xam ne ñëw na si yow nga ne ko déedéet affaire land bi moom du suma mbir yow
You had a meeting
da nga war a
with
dem si CEO. Then am nga meeting ak Nandu
once,
Am na
benn yoon
twice,
ñaari yoon
the third time,
ñetti yoon
and a possible fourth time.
nee na mun naa nekk sax ñeneenti yoon.
Because why I say possible fourth time,
Then I looked at
because Nandu said about 3 to 4 times.
lu tax mun naa nekk ñeneenti yoon parce que Nandu si boppam wax na ko fii ñetta be ñeneen.
First time, Madam Lowe, you tell Nandu that if it is about this land, please consult the CEO. I have nothing to do with this property.
nee na lu waroon mooy yoon bu njëkk bi nga xam ne wala tànk bu njëkk bi nga ñëwoon si yow booba nga ko war a wax ne affaire yi laat moom man axuma si dara wala axuma si fee demal si CEO bi nee na ba def nga woon lii.
Unfortunately, bi moo ñëw sax first time.
Unfortunately, when it was coming
Time bi fekk fa
the first time, second and third time was not fine Bathily there.
waaye laajal Nandu ñaata yoon laa ko dee wax ne ko ñun dan def ak yow demal man Nandu sax maa ko wax ne ko demal confidence ministry bi.
And then asked him how many times he came to me, and I was telling him that I have no affairs
About
about me to go to council.
complain about allocation, complain about the diligence is different. My
Yeah.
point is, he came once to your office.
Complain about allocation, joxe ko ak delays nee na loolu nekkul benn.
He came to your office the first time.
Moom lu may wax ni mooy Nandu ñëw na sa office benn yoon.
You as the mayoress, of course, you manage the people, you govern the people, and they come to you. It will be gracious to welcome Mr.
Nee na
Mr.
comme ne
Juan.
mais yow te yow nga gis ne yow fi nga nekk ndax te welcome nit ñi dañu war a di ñëw foofu di gisante nee na boobu moom su ñëwee foog nga welcome.
But now you know what he wants to discuss is not what you can handle. It's an administrative issue. It's for him to go to Mr. Batchily, and Mr. Batchily comes to you or council. Tell him, I'm sorry. I have heard you, but then I have not dealt with you in this manner. I don't know what you're talking about. I only know Charbel. Please go to Mr. Batchily.
nee na da nga gis ne moom su ñëwee si yow ba daal di la yëgal léegi yow sax nga xam ne lan mooy tànkaam bi nee na lu war mooy yow war nga ko wax ne waaw yow war ngaa dem si administrative nga rifaa ko si CEO da nga gis ne CEO moo xam ne moo war a yóbbee mbir mi ndax si yow la yow council.
He goes to Mr. Batchily.
nee na su
And
demee si
you don't meet him there.
fekkuloo ko fa.
He goes again, you don't meet him there.
mu dem foofu fekkatut ko fa.
It's his problem. There's an administrative issue that Mr. Batchily has a deputy.
nee na moom da nga gis ne loolu problème am la parce que loolu administrative issue la parce que moom soo gisee CEO bi am na député.
li council li nga wax ni wax naa ko Nandu du benn yoon du ñaari yoon du ñetti yoon waaye Nandu su ñëwee suma office.
CEO, what you said, I have informed Nandu more than 3 times, but whenever he came to my office,
I disagree with
then not good loan.
He cannot come to your office about 3, 4 times talking about the same issue that you cannot solve, that you don't know anything about because you have not even discussed with him about that.
Then as you sa office, nyata benyin into your dilawa law hapne yo amulo hamsilulu wala amulo lisi hamsilulu very largo.
So Nando has no business
And Nando am a bad business.
to repeatedly come into your office about the land that you have been telling him apparently that I can help you with.
Dal di ñew ci yow di ñëwaat te yow wax nga ko ba pare ne lan ku man awma wargal wala dama la ko mëna jappalé.
Within a period of 7 years la problem bi am.
Within a period of 7 years, that is the time when this problem occur.
Wax na ne Nandu ñëw na fii mooy doomam.
I told you he came to my office with his child.
ñëw na fa ànd ak doomam ak keneen.
And he came there with his child and another person.
Lawyer bi ñëw na fa ànd ak doomi naan.
And his lawyer came there together with Ladu's child.
What is the relevance?
te li nga.
And loolu lan mooy relevance am fii.
Waa dama laa wonte ne comme li nga wax nii.
I'm telling you that what you have said.
Exactly loolu la wax lawyer.
Exactly that is what I said to his lawyer.
Lawyer, Nando's lawyer is not in issue.
Nena fi mbiri lawyer bi boobu nekkul issue fii.
There was no, that particular lawyer did not write to you and you didn't write back. The issue here is Nando.
Nena fi lawyer bi bindut la yow tam binduloo ko nena mbiri mi yëpp fi wax bi Nando la.
Nando would not be coming to your office on 3 or 4 occasions without any reason.
Nena Nando du ñëw sa office benn yoon ñetti yoon ba ñeneenti yoon te amut loo xam ne reason am.
So my point is,
Nena moom fu muy batu point am mooy.
you know, you guys dealt with Charbel.
Nena yow xam nga ne yow yéen ak Sarbel yéen a defantoon bi.
Why transfer the property to Mr. Rajwani, Nando? Why? When you never had an agreement, pre-agreement with him.
Nena lana tangen transfer land bi si Nando. Nena te xam nga ne wala yëg nga ne mus leen a am benn agreement.
waaye naa nit bi ma jox soo ko seet.
But I think the letter that you gave me, if you just look at the letter,
Stated foofu.
it is clearly stated there.
Charbel mu ngi wax si yow ne prior to our previous meetings.
Sarbel,
mu ngi quote ay previous meetings sum amoon.
he do quote the previous meeting that we had with him.
Yes, go ahead.
So meetings so man how much dara lan lañ.
Those meetings, I don't know nothing about it. I don't know what was the decision.
So
See,
for
there's no way, Madam Lowe, that this transaction, it started with you.
And I'm not very sure parce que so si the transaction BF si la door.
Ended with you.
Then I see all like
I totally disagree ak loolu because started ak man.
I disagree. I totally disagree.
It's like any other nit nu mo nuwee foga bunti mayor bi.
It doesn't start with me. Sarbel never go
Wax
no.
buga.
The law of the mayor and explain what he wanted.
Ma wan ko ne ko na dem si CEO.
And I saw him to go to the CEO.
Yóbbu letter bi si CEO.
Who did
He took the
Mr.
letter
Charbel El Haj
to the
first
CEO.
have the communication with Tobato to lease the land?
Then
You or the CEO?
Police land bi Charbel moom ak kanam jëkk am waxtaan pour affaire lease land bi yow la wala si
Lease land bi to who?
To Charbel,
Charbel
with Hisense.
with
Who
high
did the discussion start with?
dina waxtaan bi fan la si kan la dooree
Waaye wax naa la ko ma ne la indi na paper bi so.
No, let's just start. Who did it start with?
Then I
You
see-
or Mr. Bachelet?
si kan la dooree si yow wala Bachelet
My job is to get the facts. I have no interest in when it started with Mr. Bachelet. If we
dina moom
are mistaken by that, I will just apologize. We move on with Mr. Bachelet. Did it start with you
bi la soxla
or it started with Mr. Bachelet?
dina waxtaan bi si yow la dooree wala si Mr. Bachelet
Letter bi su ma jox ko ne
he
ko
brought the letter
Not the letter.
My
Did the discussion to allocate the land to Charbel start with you or with Mr. Bachelet?
dina allocation pour Sarbel si yow la dooree wala si Bachelet la
Mun
dooree
naa start si Mr. Bachelet because si Mr. Bachelet la yóbbu.
I wanted to say
Dañ ko yóbbu kan.
I just want to say that it started with Mr.
Mr. Bachelet,
Bachelet
don't
because
be in
he
a
took
hurry
it to
to
Mr.
come to me.
Bachelet and Bachelet brought him to me.
I see you are getting your glasses down. Come to you. The same thing. Madam Lowe, did Charbel tell you first that he wants to purchase? That's what your evidence is all along. Did Charbel tell you that he has partners called Hysen that want to invest in the Gambia, specifically in Banjul, and therefore you were excited because it will bring employment to the youth?
Dina wax nga fi lu bëri ne dina léegi mooy ngeen laajte daa Sarbel mus na ñëw si yow wala ne dafa bëgg a paaka di lu tax loolu mooy dafa am partners ñi nga xam ne bëgg na ñëw fi def business te dinañ fa employ ay ndaw yi nga xam
Is it
ne
a yes or a no?
waaw wala déedéet
No, is that a yes or a
nee
no?
na laaj nga waaw wala déedéet yes it's in the application
Application.
nee na file affaire application
They've all seen the application.
nee na ñëpp gis nañ ko
You know, I said to you,
mu ne lu mu la wax mooy
you, and you said no.
si yow la dooree nga ne déedéet
Now I am repeating your evidence.
nee na léegi yow sa kàddu la mu toppa li nga waxoon fii la mu battuwaat
Did you not tell the commission
nee na ndax waxuloo commission ne
that Charbel came to your office,
Sarbel dafa ñëwoon si yow sa office
informed you
mu dal di la yëgal ne
that he has partner called Hisense,
nee na am nañ partner bi nga xam ne ñu ngi tudda Hisense
that they want to have a company here for manufacturing company,
nee na bëgg nañ am fi company
and they will be employing youths from Banjul.
ci kaw loolu dinañ jël ndaw si wala
And you are excited naturally by that.
dina te wax nga sa bopp fii ne lu daf la yóbbu woon sa si
You say that or not?
dina wax nga loolu wala wax loolu
Loolu laa wax.
that is
The application ba laay si.
No, forget the application. Just
Okay, waaw wax naa no.
that is what I have said.
did that not happen before Charbel met CEO about this issue?
nee na ndaa loolu nekkut ne loolu moo njëkk a am balaa Sarbel di dem si CEO about mbir mi.
Team force initially ñëwee la ma ko wax ak application bi. Ndax after la.
I'm not talking about the application, madam. I am not referring to an application.
nee na moom si nga wax bi yëpp musta wax application.
We have no issue with the application. Right.
Application black and white boobu amul biram ni wax biram.
Charbel first came to you and informed you about his intentions about securing a plot of land from BCC because he has partners, correct?
nee na Sarbel dafa njëkk a ñëw si yow dal di la yëgal ne bu am ay partners te dañ bugg a def business si Banjul. nee na du dëgg. Yes.
And after which you now refer him, after your discussions, you now refer him to the CEO.
nee na bi ngeen waxtaanee ba pare nga dal di ko refer si CEO.
Correct. Same day bi mu andi application bi.
1 minute.
Yes.
It was the mayor, then the CEO. Not the CEO, then the mayor, correct?
jógee ko si mayor dem si CEO nekkul ne si CEO ñëw si mayor.
So I repeat my statement. It started with you.
nee na kon ba léegi mu bantuwaat nee na si yow la dooree. Yes.
Now, we have Mr. Nandu, who has an agreement. There's a problem here because the land eventually magnified from $2 million to $20 million.
nee na land bi soo ko seetee njëgam bi jógee na door na 2 million waaye léegi fu mujjee mooy
$20 million. Nandu ended up paying about $20 million as far as he's concerned.
Nandu moom si boppam lu mu wax fii fay na lu dem ba $20 million.
And you were not aware of it.
nee na te yow nga yëgu loolu.
ma diggante Nandu ak Charbel xaw ma ci dara. mooy ne Nandu.
I know nothing between Nandu and Charbel. All I know is that Nandu. Charbel came and found a land. And the land was given to him. And he was charged $2 million. He paid $2 million to our account. So what transfer for the monies between Salvador and Nandu? I had it from the CEO.
Now transfer that same land to Nandu.
Now why Nandu would have got transfer because he joined Nandu?
If you do not know anything about Mr. Rajwani, you don't know anything about Nandu, Mr. Rajwani, you don't know anything about MK Stores, why would the council transfer the land to MK Stores?
So amlo dara si Nandu wala MK Stores
because council never had an agreement with MK Stores.
MK Stores. Why was it council musta am nanguto at MK Stores?
Understanding boy one Charbel la jox land.
I have told you that our understanding is that the land was issued to Charbel.
So
please go ahead, please proceed.
So
using understanding as a council boy na Charbel lañ allocate land.
Our understanding as council was that the land was allocated to Charbel.
Interpreted it legally.
You interpreted it legally.
One and a joxum Charbel land.
And so tell us
not legally.
We don't give Charbel land.
That was not illegal, just a legal interpretation.
Legal interpretation.
This is, please hold this lease agreement between Banjul City Council and MK Stores. These two. Even the one at National Assembly, Mr. Batchily, was transferred to MK Stores, right?
Yeah, that was the one transferred to him.
Yeah, the two were transferred. They were at the National Assembly, right? Now, just have a look at this. Just first give it to Mr. Batchily. This is the lease agreement transfer to MK Stores, Mr. Batchily. Yes?
Yes.
The one that around the National Assembly is there?
Trying to figure out where the area is mentioned.
Do you want me to help you?
Okay, that's the one I'm reading here. It says located. Okay, maybe the description, but it says located at Bond Road
Yes,
behind the National Assembly in Banjul,
exactly.
which means this.
Now you can now before I go to the mayors, if you have a lease agreement, will the mayors be aware?
Sure.
Why? How?
Oh, I normally tell her, and then our lawyer too is involved.
Of course, the lawyer is aware as involved in this.
So she's always in the know of any lease agreement that I prepare. Okay, the lawyer.
Right. Now, please give the documents to the mayors. Mr. Batchily said you are always aware when lease agreements are prepared because lawyer will always be involved. Mr. Batchily cannot do this alone. Is that correct?
CEO xamne li toujours su xé yow da ko day parce que lawyer bi sen lawyer bi fokk ñew mu dal ni ko taxaw té nak da cadre bobu deug la wala dit
Why legal wax na la ñun ñoko ko wax because he has to go to council.
yes because I told you that we need to inform it because these things have to go to council. So he cannot do the list without our direction.
And when it is done, you are aware that it's prepared.
Then I can do anything when I'm not this becoming going to
No. When it is done, you will be aware that it is prepared.
then at least we go jagare wala ko defare da nga yeg ne am na list bi nga dañ ko def.
Sign.
Yes, you have to come to me for signature.
Exactly. That is my point.
Then I move la mo way.
Now, this was done with Nando. It was never done with Charbel.
Then I lead if I have on Nando way, you should go to Charbel.
My point is no one can say, and Madam Lowe, you do not have the room to say I am not aware of any part because everything is on paper, and if the procedure is such that you are aware and you sign, there's no way that you would not know that Charbel never had it.
Then as a figure you never have on the Dandico sign. And I do have to do what are you go on you will go on.
Well, why can't we list the sign on 8th of January 2020?
But this list 8th of January 2021 and it don't sign it.
You are aware.
Then why you
What the signing is your evidence, it's not mine. I'm saying that when it is prepared, you have confirmed that you will be aware because you have constructed.
Then the signature will go to the evidence. Then why so fake and the fact that go then I fucking go because never
You admitted to that.
then I'm not going to
What? Fine.
yes, I must be aware because I have the one to sign.
Yes.
Sipan la kung ini for sign.
They have to brought it to me for me to sign.
Yes.
That was my signature.
What I see here for this one, my signature is not there.
Yes. But there is an assignment, there is a list that was assigned to Nando, and no one disputes that.
Then come list Nando jox nañ ko list wala defar nañ ko list kenn du wédi loolu.
There is no list assigned to Charbel and no one disputes that, correct?
Then tamit Charbel amul benn list te kenn du wédi loolu.
Correct? Am I right?
Let me say 3 more.
Okay.
No, what I'm looking here is that
I don't know what happened here because 2019.
I don't know what happened here because 2019
Sign now.
I signed
Gis not for lawyer bitter.
and I saw that of the lawyer.
Why 2021?
But 2021
This was signature lawyer.
I don't see my signature much more than of the lawyer.
Madam Mayor, would it be in respect to the one that was cancelled? Because there is an assignment that was done, and this was referenced by Ms. Ida Drama, lawyer for Nando, referring to the cancelled assignment. Was it the one? Is it the one that you are referring to? Mr. Batchily, can you please note and provide us with the assignment that was cancelled? There was one that was done and was cancelled. So that we will be able to compare, because now the mayor is saying she did not see her signature. Perhaps her signature would be in the one that was cancelled. And why was that assignment cancelled, Mr. Batchily?
The first lease.
Yes.
Well, because eventually it was not feasible for him to be given that area again because of the national.
Nando?
Yes.
Madam Chair, is the National Assembly
National Assembly. Yeah.
Not. Okay.
that never materialized. So they moved the allocations to the bond road.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that initial
Yes, let us have the cancel.
Secretary write it down.
That would be the evidence in furtherance to the fact that Stradbell was never allocated.
Yes.
So please provide us with.
Yes. Lila understand do that from 25th of June 2019 to 8th of January 2021.
This is what I don't understand. From 25th of June
2019.
2019,
2019, maybe 2021.
and this is 2021.
And it's the same people at the same place.
Yes.
Same people at the same place.
Because the purchaser or Mr. Nando MK stores were later reallocated the bond board, correct?
Mr. Nandu, reallocate
To bond road. That is what it says for the one in 2021.
Then for 2021, the lower.
And the agreement, the lease agreement states that paragraph 3 by letter dated the 19th of August 2020, the leaseor gave approval to the leasee to use the land and the subject of this land for the post stated in this lease. So this is when you had an agreement. And it said that by a resolution dated the 30th of April 2019, 19, the Emergency General Council meeting, the council approved the said application. So this application that you are relying on is the application, they see the lease agreement of the 2021, serial number 192/2021.
Serial agreement with 2021.
Which gave MK stores to operate as the leasing. Made reference to an emergency resolution of the 30th of April 2019. Let me show you again where the problem is. Just look at paragraph 3 of the lease given to MK stores.
And I said paragraph 3, MK stores.
You will also turn to article 4, you will see the amount stated.
Article 4,
and you can compare with the letter of the 30th of April.
Compare letter of April 30th.
Have you seen that? Paragraph 3 of the lease agreement.
Paragraph 3 of the lease agreement.
Please read it.
Violated dated 19th of August 2020. reference number 11/BTC/89/volume. The lessor gave approval to the leasee to use the land, the subject of this lease, for the purpose stated in this lease.
Okay. What is that saying?
Violated it the 19th of August 2020.
That there is a letter dated the 19th of April 2020. 30th, sorry.
30th of
Should not
April
be given
2019.
to the lease to use the land. The leasee.
Yes, to use the land. That is MK stores, correct?
MK stores.
Paragraph 3 is saying that there is a letter of the 30th of April 2019 which gives MK stores permission. There is a general council emergency meeting.
Yes.
Which gave the leasee, that is MK stores, permission to lease the land as yes.
And alone, mojo MK one. So that is the name of the lease.
Correct?
Correct? Yes.
Now, is there a letter of that such?
Then that's all letter of Amna.
Is that letter of the 30th of April 2019 that gave MK stores permission for the lease?
Then a letter of the copy that 30th of April. You have the Jugana Digal, Lunga MK stores, not the lease.
By the general council?
You have the general council, Jogo.
The answer is
Not a letter, but the minutes.
Then for vote be more needed.
not
a letter, but minutes.
but not to MK stores.
Then I went to MK stores.
Please cancel. So mobile and you in the minutes.
If you time, because this was a long time, so I don't want to be seen.
All right. Please bring the minutes on Monday.
And then I'll tell you lazy minutes.
Unfortunately, I get to kiss the brass.
Unfortunately, I'm traveling on Sunday.
You can make that vacation.
I wanted to make
Sure.
I just wanted to make it after, whenever we are done.
Since Sunday, the man travel.
Sunday, I wish to go. I wish to travel.
Then you them America with the UN Habitat.
We are going to America with the UN Habitat.
You get them Geneva.
From there, we are proceeding to Geneva.
VLR, correct fee.
Our VLR that we were inaugurating here.
That get them America. When you try it, then you not man
Habitat are making us go to America so that we can be able to have partners.
Madam Lowe,
Madam Lowe,
we appreciate the fact that you are traveling. We appreciate the fact that you are traveling for the interest of the people that you are representing.
Chair, may I approach the commission for based on the application of the
Yes, please. We will discuss the issue of your travel. When we finish, we rise and we'll come back and deal with the issue. Yes, you may proceed.
Why? In minutes.
all I wanted to say is that tomorrow I can be able to bring the minutes.
Yes, okay. That is good that you have said that you will bring the minutes. Yes, but you know, and you appreciate the fact that we cannot have you force. The fact is that you have an office to run. We cannot have you here every day. 1, 2, we have given you opportunity to travel for a very long period of time, and that we have to conclude on your evidence, right? So that we can move on to other mayors as we progress. But we will come back to what you have said. Yes.
May I proceed?
Proceed now.
We can rise and come back with the 5 minutes or I proceed.
Yes, we can rise now and come back. Then we can conclude and deal with it.
As the commission. Can the witness guide the commission as to how long she intended to travel so that may aid the commission in arriving at just conclusion?
Yes. For how long do you please also provide us with your itinerary and your travel schedule?
Mom, like I said,
Yes. If you have the details on your phone, please forward same to the secretary who can provide us with the copies while we go for recess for 10 minutes. We may rise.